Cigarettes, none of it. I want no part of it. I don't like any of it. She goes to my boyfriend. Can you hold him? And my boyfriend just grabs his baby. My boyfriend's just holding this little baby. Hey, what's up, besties? Welcome back to today's video. My name is Cass, if you don't know who I am. I am going to be doing today, basically we're going to sip some coffee and we're going to talk about some green flags. Because a lot of people liked my last video where I talked about some pet peeves of mine. And I was like, what would be the opposite of a pet peeve? And I saw this trend going around on YouTube, just people talking about their green flags. So this is for me. This is not for you. This is my green flags and what I think makes people, good friends. It's not just in a relationship, because my partner has most of these, like all of these things that I'm going to say. He's amazing, but also in friendship. So what I want out of a partner, you often want in the people around you. Just green flags in people in general. Okay, the first one is when someone's funny. And I don't mean funny like The Office funny. I generally don't think that The Office or things like that sarcasm humor is funny. I don't find it like dry humor. I'm not a big fan. I like more like, I don't know, Adventure Time, Rick and Morty, like the kiddish kind of funny, like memes and those types of things. I don't want someone to be like Office funny where it's like kind of sarcastic. Like, I'm not a big fan of that. I'm just not into it. I like my friends to be kind of immature, I'm not gonna lie. And you're gonna see this is funny because I say later on that I like mature people, but I like to be immature and childish sometimes and be able to like let my inner child roam free. So if we can like giggle or like laugh about something, I'm like, I love you. Especially me and my best friend Caitlin, like we just be laughing about the dumbest things, especially like Jenna Marbles or things like that. If you have that sort of childish funny humor, I like you.
It's like that meme. What do you have in your mouth? What do you have in your mouth?
The second one is not exclusively that you play video games, but it's that you have some sort of hobby or passion. So one thing that I don't like is if you talk to someone and you ask them like, what are your passions? What are your hobbies? And they don't have anything to answer you with. Now, I know people are like, oh, but I have school or I have this, like, you could tell me, oh, taking care of my kids is my hobby because I'm busy. Like, I'm a busy girl or a busy guy. I could understand that and be like, yeah, but I find it so attractive when someone takes a piece out of their day to do something. So for me, I would say mine are YouTube, cleaning my house. I like to clean. I genuinely like to clean. So if someone were to tell me, oh, I love to clean my house and just feel organized, I love that. I love that. You're taking a time out of your day. I don't like when people vape. I don't like when people vape, when people smoke, when people do any of that. Cigarettes, none of it. I want no part of it. I don't like any of it. I don't know why. I'm just not a big fan of any of it. I mean, I would not be one of those girls who are like, my friend is smoking a cigarette and I'm like, ew, it stinks. I'm not that girl. I will let you smoke, vape, do whatever you want in front of me. But from a partner standpoint, from a boyfriend, husband standpoint, my boyfriend doesn't vape. I don't vape. My boyfriend doesn't like vape or cigarettes either. So me and him are fairly like, neither of us vape, neither of us smoke cigarettes, no like marijuana, nothing. Like, we're just not smokers. And I kind of like that. I feel like it's, I don't know, keeping my health up, keeping my lungs up, but I'm drinking coffee. Obviously that's not good for you. So it's kind of a trade-off, people take their addiction elsewhere. Mine is coffee, obviously collecting, buying things. You take your addiction and you place it in another cup. I just don't think smoking or drinking like every weekend or doing like cigarettes or any of that, I don't want no part of it. I'm very bland. I'm vanilla. Now, just because I don't smoke doesn't mean that I can't hang out with people who do. That's another like misconception. My next green flag is when someone can tell you about their past confidently or tell you about like things that they've been through. So like if someone was, let's say, poor, right? And they want to talk about their childhood and they can confide in you, like, when I was younger, I was so poor, this and that, and they can tell you. That is so attractive than people who hide their past. Like, it depends. They don't have to tell you everything. Obviously, you're not required to tell anyone everything. But when someone can entrust you with their past, that is so attractive, whether it be a friend, Like, it doesn't even have to be sexually. Like, you can be attracted to a friend, like someone and think they're a great person and a great friend. Like, you can have some sort of friendship attachment if they exhibit these. So if my friend tells me, oh, this happened to me when I was a child, that's how you bond with people. That's actually a really great way to get deep with someone, is to see if your childhoods kind of match up. If you grew up in the same class, like if you grew up poor, they grew up poor, or you grew up, middle class and they grew up middle class, and you guys can bond over things that you went through, that is like the best thing ever. You've ever had a friend where you can explain to them something that you went through and they're like, yeah, I went through that too. That is the best feeling. The next thing is a green flag. This is the most attractive thing someone can have. So this ties into the next one after it, but being approachable and being like a gentleman or a gentlewoman. Like, my boyfriend, people just walk up to him and we make this joke. We're like, why us? Whenever we're in public, people just walk up to us. And I think it's because I'm always over there like walking around just smiling, and my boyfriend's just there like a cool dude, and he has an overall great demeanor. So when we're in public, people always take it upon themselves to be like, hey, do you know where the tissue paper aisle is? Or hey, do you know where I can do this? Or do you know where I can do that? Or one time we were at this water park in Pennsylvania called Kalahari, and this lady, I'm not even kidding you, walks out of the hot tub, it was the lazy river, that's what it's called. So she was walking out of the lazy river just holding her baby, and she goes to my boyfriend, can you hold him? And my boyfriend just grabs his baby. My boyfriend's just holding this little baby, and he's like, here you go, ma'am. And he was so sweet. I feel like other people, when people are like, ew, that's not my kid, or have like some sort of like the need to help, is so attractive. To be able to help people. If someone was in a tree right now, my boyfriend will go outside and be like, do you need help out of the tree, ma'am? Like, my boyfriend is so good at that. Like, he's just a natural born helper. So when I say a nice smile, right, I do not mean the teeth, okay? The teeth don't matter. If you really take out the teeth out of the equation, I mean the lips. Like, having the ability to have a very beautiful, I like to say a gummy, welcoming smile. You ever walk up to someone in public and they're like, you cannot walk up to them with confidence because you know they're trying too hard. Like, I feel like there's some people who just try to smile too hard. Like, girl, you're not that happy. You're not that happy. You're not smiling. And that makes me, like, to have a natural, nice, like just be smiling for no reason. I love that. Like, oh my God, when someone has like a gummy, nice smile, and like a gummy smile makes me feel so welcome. It's attractive. It's attractive. It's a 10 out of 10 green flag if someone has like a gummy, sweet smile. Okay, the next green flag is someone who can hold a conversation. Obviously, I talk really fast and I talk to a lot of people, and I'm always talking and I'm just a talker, right? See how I just talk, right? I need someone who can handle that, okay? If I'm talking to someone and they're just like, yeah, okay, yeah, I will instantly believe that they don't want to be talking to me for some reason. I will instantly be like, they don't want to talk to me. Now, there's a difference. I can tell when someone is genuinely shy or anxious from the conversation, and I will not push. I will not push or make them feel uncomfortable. But if I know this person just doesn't want to talk to me and I can like sense it almost, I'm like, no, this is not good. Or one-word replies or one-word answers. If they're not busy, like if they're at work, I understand. But if you're trying to hold a genuine conversation with someone, like, what is the meaning of life? What's your religion? What do you believe in? Super deep conversations. What do you do for work? Can you explain to me word for word, what are your job duties? Okay, this is something I would ask people, like my friends. I want to know what you do. And if they can't sit here and tell me, and they're just like, oh yeah, I like work with cats or something, and they just want to move on, I just don't feel like, I don't know, it's not attractive. I like someone, like me and Tyler will lay in bed at night and have full-on life conversations. We will talk about the start of our life to the end of our life and how we're going to die. Like, we will come up with a time span of what we want to do with our life. We will build our future house, and like while we're going to bed, we will literally be like, we're going to have tile ceilings and this and that. We will come up with plans. I like that. I like people who can dream and talk about stuff. Okay, my next green flag, bro, my next one is a big green flag. The biggest green flag. My relationship is carried upon FaceTime. I like when people send voice messages. I love that. I love it. I eat it up. I'd be like, send me that voice message. I love the voice messages. But if a person just wants to text and they're a bad texter, they're dry. It's like one word. Why? The next green flag is if they're good with money. And now I don't necessarily mean that they just like don't spend money. I just mean that they're good with it. Like they know if it's their last $50, they're not gonna spend it on something dumb. They're gonna at least try and save it, and they're just not blowing money on anything and everything. Because I have a little bit of a, not a spending problem. I obviously save a lot, but I like to spend money. So it gets difficult for me. So I cannot have people around me who have the same traits. Because if we're all just spending money, that's not good. We need that balance, that yin, that yang. So I want someone who's gonna like put me in check and be like, hey, why don't we save money and go window shopping? When I lived in Pennsylvania, like me and my friends would just go to Walmart and look at stuff. We wouldn't always buy stuff. We would just be looking at stuff. So the next thing is not at all anyone else's, but mine is Star Wars. If they like Star Wars, green flag, just saying. My next green flag is if we have one fight in our friendship and you are able to resolve it. Like, I hate when you're fighting with someone and you thought it was resolved. Like, you seriously thought it was done. You thought you guys had gotten over this, and they go and continue to talk about it and continue to drag it out. They're dragging it. Like, they can't solve it. That's a red flag for me. The green flag is if they can just resolve it. So, like, if you have I've only had one or two fights with most of my friends, and the ones who can't stay after your first fight, that's a red flag. Like, you guys need to communicate, work it out. If you can have one fight and get over it, green flag. To be able to just get over a fight or get over an indifference, green flag. I'm gonna rapid fire a few, but protective, so not necessarily jealous, but protective. So if you see someone looking at me weirdly or someone's pulling up and you're getting worried, I love people who are aware of their surroundings. Like, you're watching all the exits, you're watching all the room, and you're seeing what's going on. Being able to just be protective and know something could happen at any moment, that's good. To be aware of your surroundings is just really good. Anyone who likes gaming, you can take care of yourself and go to the gym and stuff, but to be a nerd, green flag. Like, to be your tech self, green flag. But anyways, thank you guys so much for watching. I really appreciate you guys, and I hope you guys have a great day. Bye, guys.